Hello, everybody, and welcome to BadgerBeat.com. Rob Hernandez filling in this week for Andy Baggett with first impressions from the Badgers' 31-24 loss at Ohio State. Let's start with some positives, and I think there were a bunch for the Badgers in the ball game at Ohio State. Let's start with Joel Stave. 20 of 34 passing, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, on the other end of that passing combination, Jared Abbrederis with another career night, 10 catches, 207 yards, and a touchdown. A lot of people wondered what kind of passing game the Badgers would have in such a big game environment, and I thought those two players, Stave and Abbrederis, certainly answered the call there. And let's see a show of hands. Who thought the Badgers would go to Ohio State and have more yards passing than they would rushing? The ground game tonight, probably the one big concern coming out of the Ohio State loss. Melvin Gordon, 15 carries, 79 yards, and James White, just 8 carries for 31 yards after a monster early season, the first few games of the year. And of course, the potential injury to Melvin Gordon. We don't know how severe the knee injury is at this point as we film this, but a lot of concerns there to offset perhaps the great gains they made in the passing department. Thought defensively, the Badgers, of course, were stout up front, and Chris Borland with a huge night, 16 tackles was quite the effort by the Badger linebacker, but the obvious deficiencies in the defensive secondary again. Ohio State able to complete the big passes, a couple for touchdowns at critical times in that ball game, as breakdowns in the secondary really came back to cost the Badgers. So something to work on going forward. I thought also the big play capability of Ohio State really reared itself at the end of the first half when they score that late touchdown with 1 second on the clock. And in the end, 31-24 loss for the Badgers. That was a backbreaker. Again, little things, penalties, offsides, missed field goal, a lot of things to clean up, and the first impression going forward is that this is probably a game that's going to keep the Badgers out of Pasadena, but there's still a lot of football to be played. If you're a Badger fan, you know strange things have happened, although the way Ohio State played tonight, you wonder if that will happen this year.